This video is related to the collections of list. As like in the top of the hierarchy of collection there is iterable. After iterable, just wait, let me to comment it. Star slash star. Now the scenario is in the top of the hierarchy of collection, the parent is iterable. It is an interface, and the child class of iterable is collection. Collection is also an interface. Now the collection has three child. The first is list, which is also an interface, and the second child is set. It is also interface, and the third child is cube. Q-U-E-U-E. It's the third child. It is also an interface. Now the scenario is that I will discuss here about the list. What is list and what is the type of list? Just remember, in the list is a type of array, but there is a little bit difference between the array and the list. In the array we can store homogeneous elements, homogeneous elements in the array, except the object array, as we know that in the object array, object is the parent of everything. It is by default the parent of integer, float, double, boolean, character. So in the object array we can store the heterogeneous elements. Except this, we can store only homogeneous elements in the array. The second problem in the array is, let's say I am creating an array int arr is equal to new int, and in the bracket I have to pass the number of element I want to insert in this array. Here I have passed the 10 elements, so that I can store only 10 elements in the array. More than 10 elements are not allowed. If we insert the 11th element, then it will give the array index out of bound exception. Now the scenario is, let's that I am creating I am having a bank. There is a bank. In the bank all the accounts are stored in an array. Let's say there is one array which can hold the number of accounts. Let's say I am passing here some values, as like it is 1 lakh. This is 1 lakh. 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh. This is 1 lakh. I can store 1 lakh account in my bank. Then what happen if only 100 account is there? If there is only 100 account and the size is 1 lakh, then the remaining will be will take a lot of spaces, because as we know it is 1 lakh. Then there will be the memory problem, because the size is more and elements inserted is very less, so it will take the memory, so memory problem. In the second hand, let's say there is 1 lakh. We can store 1 lakh account in the array. Okay, then if I want to store more than 1 lakh, then what happen? So for in the time of compilation in the array, we have to pass the value. I have passed the value that the size should be here 1 lakh. But if we don't know that how many elements will come, then we can't go for the array. This is the disadvantage of array, that we have to pass the size. Otherwise we will get array index out of bound exception. Due to this, collection scheme. Collection behavior is same as compared to the array, but collection is growable in nature. If anyone asks that what is the difference between array and collection object, then just say this, that collection is growable in nature, but in the array we have to fix the size at the time of initialization. Got it? It means that let's the array list. In the array list, the default size is 10. When we try to insert the 11th element in the array, its size automatically changes to 16. automatically growable. We don't need to do anything. It will be automatically grow to 16. Got it? This is the advantage of collection. And in the collection we can store the heterogeneous elements. It means we can store any types of elements, either it is in the form of integer or in the form of double or in the form of boolean, anything. Whatever we want to store, we can store in the collection object. Now let me to talk about the list. List is an interface which came in Java 1.2 version, and it is the child interface of collection interface. Collection is the parent interface and list is the child interface. And whatever the methods in the interface, generally before 1.8 version, we are restricted to write only abstract method. So whatever the abstract method is written in the collection and whatever the restricted method are written in the iterable, all are, and the list, this till here we have three interfaces. First is iterable, the super parent interface. Now the second is collection, and now the third is list. So all of these three, iterable, collection and list, all of these three implemented class is array list, linked list and vector. And vector has a child class known as a stack. I will discuss after later. Got it? So all the iterables abstract method, collections abstract method and list abstract method are implemented in some class. That class name is array list, linked list and vector. Got it? Now I will discuss about the array list. What is array list and what is the behavior of array list? Array list is in array list we can store homogeneous elements, and it is growable in nature, and insertion order must be preserved. And duplicates allowed. This is the advantage of array list, that in the array list we can store the heterogeneous, or sorry, not homogeneous, heterogeneous. We can store the heterogeneous elements. Insertion order must be preserved and duplicates are allowed. What do you mean by? We can understand heterogeneous means we can store any type of elements, as like string or integer or double or float or boolean, any type of. But insertion order must be preserved. It means that what do you mean by insertion order must be preserved? Let's say there is an array int arr. I am taking new int, the size is 10. Let's say the size is 10. Now in this array, if we want to fetch the element, let's say I want to fetch the element as index 0. So I have to print arr of 0. Then we will get the element. It means that all the elements in array are placed according to the index wise. This is the meaning of insertion order must be preserved. It means in the array list, whatever elements we are inserting, it will be inserted according to its index position. As like I am creating an array list here. Array list L is equal to new array list. I have to import this statement. Array list is present in java.util package, so change to array list java.util. Now where I am writing this array list el is equal to new array list, an array list object will be created. Object will be created of size 10. The default initial size of array list is 10. it will start from the 10. Now when I am creating an array list, then in the collection there is a method name as add. So I want to store the value in L, array list object. Then L dot add. Now I am writing here something as like I am writing Suraj. Okay, the second element L dot add, let's say I want to write here any boolean value. Then L dot add, I want to create new integer object, integer of 10 I am passing here. Now we have inserted the three values here. This is all the values are of different types. This is a type of string, this is a type of boolean, and this is the type of integer object. Now to print all of this, sys out, if we write here L, then we will get the whole value. You can see in the whole value we get Suraj true and 10. This is array list. Now how it is inserted in this position, because array list is taking everything in the form of object, and this is string is a child class of object, so it will take list. And boolean is also, all of these are wrapper classes. Don't say that this is char, this is character class. Got it? This is integer class. All are the child class of object. That's why it is allowed to insert any type of value in the array list. Now when we have created an array list, it will create an array list of default size 10. What happen if we want to insert the 11th element? Then let's say I am writing here L dot add of a. Now if we want to know that which element is there in the first position, then L dot get of 1. Then let's say what is the element? True is the element. That's how we are getting the element. In same manner we are fetching the data in the array. As like if you want to get the data at 0 position, then we pass here the position of that array, same as it is behaving as like a array. Got it? This is the behavior. That's why it is said that insertion order must be preserved. The elements whatever inserted, it will be inserted according to their index wise. Here the first element inserted, its index is 0. The second element inserted here true, its index will be 1. And the third element which is inserted, its index will be 2. That's why it is saying that insertion order must be preserved. Now if we want to get any value, here if we want to get the value 2, then it will give the any problem. Got it? If we want to get the value more than that, then what will be the solution? There will be empty. This will be array index out of bound exception, because we have inserted only 3 elements and we want to fetch the data of 11th 10th. That's why it is giving the array index out of bound exception. Got it? Now this is array and this is array list. Now what happened when the 10th element will be inserted? Let's say there is my array list. Control C, let me to paste here. In this array list, the default initial size will be 10. What happened when the 11th index will be inserted? Let's say I want to add one element, add 12. Let's say I want to add any integer value 12, but all the 10's value are filled. We have inserted all the 10 value, as like I am copying this. Just remove comment, just remove all of this commented things. Now let me to copy paste 3 times. This is 3, 6, 9, 12. We have inserted 12 elements here. Now its size is more than 10. The initial capacity is 10. Then what happens when we want to add extra elements? Here the elements you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There is 12 element here. So the initial size is 10. Then what happen? We want to add extra elements more than 10. Then what will happen? Then a new array list object will be created. Here just say one new array list object will be created, and all the 10 elements will be copied. All the 10 elements will be copied from the first array list. This is the array list of default size 10. This array list has default size 10. Let's say there is some elements in this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. There is 10 element. Now if we want to insert the 11th element, L dot add of 110, 110, then what will happen? Then a new array list object will be created. This will be created again. Here the bracket is missing. Just wait. Bracket is missing. 10, 110. So a new array list object will be created, but its initial size will be 16 and all the 10 elements will be copied at first. Here are the 10 elements. So all the elements will be copied here, and the 11th element will be inserted here. Got it? This is the way how to insert, how the array list insert the elements. At first all the 10 elements will be copied in the new array list. This is my new array list. This was not the old array list. A new array list will be created and all the 10 elements will be inserted, and the last element will be inserted at the last position, because in array list insertion order must be preserved. So the way at first I want to add 10, then at the first index it will be 10, then 20, then there will be 20 in the array list. Insertion order must be preserved. Now how the 16 came? If we want to know the size, then 10, the new size या new capacity is equal to old capacity into 3 by 2 plus 1. This is the formula to find the capacity. Got it? Now let's perform the equation. At first the old capacity was 10. I have already discussed that 10 was the old capacity, into 3 by 2. 10 into 3 by 2. If we want to write 10 into 3 by 2, then 2 will be divisible by 10. So we will get 15 here. So 15 plus at the last there is 1. That's why it is 16. Got it? Now if there is 16 element full, then what will be the new capacity? Then you can get this by the using same manner. 16 into 3 by 2. How much? 8 3s are 24. This will be 24, and last there is plus 1. So the initial size will be 25. That's how a new array list will be created of different sizes. If we want to in the array list, to add the element in array list, we use the add method. If we want to know the position that the element, let's say there is an element named as Suraj. If we want to know the position, then it will give the position of the first occurrence. Let's say, just wait. View, where is view? Search. Let's wait. How we I have to use the, why it is not showing? Windows, show view, console. This is giving the blank because there is a lot of elements here named as Suraj. I want to change the content as like I am writing here RAM and L dot index of RAM, but I have to print this. I am not printing. That's why it is giving the blank. Sys out control B, L dot add of RAM. Then what will be the output? Let's say the output will be 3. It will be it is inserted in the third position, 0 position, first index, second index, and L dot add of RAM is in the third index. If we want to write here Suraj, it is duplicate. There is a lot of Suraj in this array list. Then it will give the first occurrence. then the first, where the first Suraj came, here it is the first occurrence, that's why it is giving Suraj at the 0 index. So if we want to get sys out L dot get, if we want to get the element at index 5, as like I want to get the element at index 5, then there is a method get method, so it will give you the element at index 5. Sys out, I have to print this, sorry, I'm not printing this. Sys out I am not printing, that's why it is giving the blank screen. Here the 10 will be the element at index 5. You can count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5. The 10 will be there, that's why it is giving the answer 10. So by the using of index of, we can get the we can pass here the object, that which object we want to search is placed in which index, and the get method will give the element which is placed at the given particular position. Here I have given the 5, so it will give the element which is placed as index 5. Got it? This is the behavior of array list, that how array list behaving and how the elements are inserted in the array list. And duplicates are also allowed in the list, that's why we are allowed to add the duplicate element. That's why you can see L dot add of Suraj, L dot add of Suraj, the same, the elements are duplicate, but it is allowed to use. This is the behavior of array list. Now let me to discuss about the behavior of linked list, how linked list is working. In the linked list there is no any size problem. In the linked list there is no any size. Then if we want to store some elements in the linked list, let's say there are some elements 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 110. This is some elements in the linked list. So what the linked list is doing, there is one block, then the second block will be of the element, and the third for the next address, same as it is. Oh, just wait, the same as it is. That's why just wait, I need to write here previous address, previous address. Now what I am writing here, just let me to explain. At first, in the first position, when the 10 will came, then the first will be blank, because there is no any previous elements before 10. That's why the address of previous elements will be null, there will be empty. Then the second will be element, then what element we want to store, now I want to store 10. After that, in the third block, it is a type of block, mix of 3 blocks. In the third block there will be address of next element, the next element is 20. What is the address of next element? Let's say if the next element address is 700x, example. Okay, now for the second element, there will the 3 blocks will be created. In the in the 3 blocks, first will be what is the 10th address, 10 element address. Now let's the address is 600x, 600x. Now in the second block I want to add 20, so 20 will be there, and it will write the the next address, so the next element is 30. What is the address of 30? Let's say the address is 800x. That's how the linked list work. It will store all the address of next element and previous elements. This is a type of linking. The first element will hold the address of second. The second element 20 will hold the address of 10 and 30. The third element 30 will hold the address of 20 and 40. That's how the linked list work. Now this is a question, that when we have to go for the linked list and when we have to go for the array list. When we want to fetch data random times, as like when I am creating any database, let's say in the IRCTC, it is common to write here select star from train where source is equal to question mark where is question mark, question mark, question mark, and destination is equal to question mark. This is a simple query. Here the user will enter the question mark. Question mark means any value, that if we want to find the train, source is Hyderabad, I want to find the train which start from Hyderabad and go to Andhra Pradesh, let's say, then it will this is a random type of query. In one day there are more than 10 lakhs of people who are executing this query. If we want to fetch data, mostly times if we don't want to insert data, but my main priority is we want to fetch the data or retrieve the data. Fetch or retrieve. For fetching and retrieving, array list is best. Why? Because it work on the index wise. If we want to get any data, it will directly search from the source and destination, and it will give all the values whatever is in the between of source and destination. Got it? So array list is best for fetching and retrieval of data, but linked list is best for insertion of data. Wait, insertion of data if we want to insert any element, then in the array list it will create a problem, because I have already told you, when I am creating an array list of size 10, by default the starting size will be 10. When we want to add, let's say I want to add here 35, if I am adding 35 here, the all the elements after 35 will be disturbed, because everyone has position will be changed. This is index 0, this is index 1. I have added a element at index 2, then automatically that the 30 index was previously 2, but now the 30 index will be changed to 3. Here before this, just wait, before this the 30 index was 3, but now when I have inserted 35, its index changed to sorry 30 index was 2, now the index changed to 3. That's how change to 4, change to 5, change to 6, all of the elements are disturbed just because of adding one more element in the middle. So insertion and deletion in the array list, let's say for the deletion, let's there if we deleted 20, then it will again affect the first index, it is no problem. In the second index there was 20, but now 30 came in the first index. This is 0 index, this is first index. 30 was previously in the second index, now it came in the first index. That's how all the elements got disturbed. So array list is not suitable for insertion and deletion of element from the array list. If we want to insert or delete the element in the array list, then we have to use the linked list. It is more flexible. Linked list. Why linked list is better? Because it always store the address. It never store the location that in which index the element is inserted. There is no any index type of matter in the linked list. Got it? So at first the 10 will be inserted. Here the 10, there is no any previous element, that's why the first block will be blank. Then the element 10, then the next address will be 20 address. Let's say if I have inserted here 15, so we have to write only, instead of writing the next address as 20, we have to write the address of 15 here. Only we have to write the address of 15, other will not get affected. That's why it is saying that linked list is much better for insertion and deletions of elements. Got it? Now the third case, vector. What is vector? Vector b is equal to new vector. It is giving compilation error because class first word is capital, but I have written small. Now I have to control alt import java.util.star or vector, whatever I am writing. Okay, there is no any compilation error. Now the vector, again initial capacity is 10. The vector default initial capacity is 10. When I am writing vector b is equal to new vector, a new vector object will be created of default size 10. Got it? Same, let me to add here. I want to insert 10 elements in the vector, then 10 10 50, let me to remove 15 because it will give more than, it will flow the disturb the flow. 10 20 30 40 50, this is my elements. I have inserted the 10 element. When the 11th element came, let's say I want to add v dot add of 110. If we want to add the 11th element, then a double size vector will be created. The next capacity is equal to 2 into vector. It means the vector size was previously 10, so 2 into 10, how much? 20. Now if 20 element is inserted in the vector, then what will be the next size? Then 20 into 2, 2 into initial capacity was 10. Now the initial capacity is 20, so 20 into 2, the 40. Then after 40 it will be 40 into 2, 80. Then after 80 it will be 160. After 160 it will be 320. That's how the vector added the element. That's how it is growable in nature. Let's say I have 161 element. I have just 161 element, but there is the initial capacity reached to 160. So for the one element, 160 minus 1, 160 minus 1, there is 1. Just for the one element, a new linked list vector will be created of default size 320. Just think, just for adding one object, a size of 320 vector will be created. It will be a problem that it is this, as like just remember, I have 10 lakh. Okay, 10 lakh. I want to add 10 lakh one element. 10 lakh one element. If we want to add 10 lakh one element, then what you know about the vector? The capacity into 2. 2 into capacity. 2 into capacity. Control V. 2 into capacity. So a new vector of greater size will be created. But if we want to add one element, just one element only, then what we have to do? Then we have to pass, then the vector got fail. That's how we have to pass here 100 comma 10. This 100 is, I want to change the initial capacity to 100. The vector initial capacity was at the first 10. Now I have said the vector that 100 element will be inserted in you, and if more than 100 elements came, 101 or 102, then only allow 10 elements. It means in this vector we can store 110 elements. That's how the vector works. And in the vector there is a interview question that what is the difference between array list and vector? Because both behavior is same, both nature is same, both are storing homogeneous elements are preserved, insertion orders are preserved and duplicates are allowed. Linked list, there is a little bit change. How that linked list are inserting the data in the form of linking elements. The node, it is working as a node. The element, next address, the previous address, element and the next address. That's how the linked list works. But the array list and vector, both behavior are same. Then what is the difference between vector and array list? Vector is synchronized. Only one thread is allowed to access the vector object at a time. Only one thread is allowed. That's why vector is thread safe. But array list is not thread safe because array list is not synchronized. This is the difference, that vector is thread safe, but array list is not thread safe, and linked list is also not thread safe. But there is some limitations in the vector. Just because of this, we have to go for the concurrent classes. As like we know that vector is synchronized. Let's say there are 10 lakh thread. There are 10 lakh thread. 10 lakh thread. And if any object is synchronized, vector is synchronized, so only one thread is allowed to access. Only one thread is allowed to access. What about 9 lakh 99,000? Everyone has to wait, so the waiting time increases. That's why the concurrent collections came. This is the behavior of all of these things. Thank you.